Hi there, my name is Saad, which in Arabic means a happy person, which I am, especially when I see a beautiful car. Ferrari Enzo, one day you will be mine. You could say I come from a global family. I have a sister in Pakistan, a brother in Canada, and folks back in Dubai. I came to London when I was 18, and now share a flat with some mates in the East End. There was actually a friend who told me about ACCA when he worked for KPMG Dubai, and I saw that it would be brilliant to have a degree as well as a professional qualification. Potential employers understand the degree, where part qualified takes some explanation. The BSc looked to me like a dual qualification without doubling the workload. I currently work in retail, and I'm just completing my ACCA qualification. But it's been great to get something solid like the BSc behind me before finishing.
You've got nothing to lose and you've got a degree to gain.
I'm Noshin Server, born and brought up in Kuwait, and I currently live in London. I love movies, all kind of movies, and I enjoy painting to relax. I've always been ambitious and wanted a challenging and yet a rewarding career. I think that accounting teaches you skills that are always in demand in the commercial world. Luckily, a friend introduced me to ACCA and I did my Certified Accounting Technician qualification in Kuwait and worked as an accountant in Kuwait's largest real estate company. My ACCA studies brought me to London, where I found out about the BSc through my tutors. It seemed perfect for me. It's already opened new doors in my career, and I'll start working in an audit firm once I've taken my final papers. The day BSc appeared on my CV, I had a pay rise in my existing job.
My name is Olugbenga Aladejobi Koka, but everyone just calls me Olu. I trained and worked as an architect in my native Nigeria. Then I moved into finance, qualifying at PwC. As an accountant, I've worked for traditional businesses and charities in places like Sierra Leone, Sudan, the Ivory Coast, and Europe. I had often felt that not having an accounting degree was a limitation to my career, then saw the opportunity with Oxford Brookes BSc on ACCA's website. Luckily, I got great encouragement and support from my employer to go for it. I now live and work in London and have just become a father to a beautiful boy called Toby. Wow, and there was I, thinking getting an ACCA qualification was hard work. Completing the BSc was a turning point in my career.
Why did you choose ACCA?
One of my friends introduced me to ACCA, so I started with the CAT, which is the Certified Accounting Technician qualification. I did that, got exempted, and started working.
My friend recommended it to me when he was working for KPMG Dubai.
They have a flexible entry point system whereby whatever your previous qualification, you can come in and still have the opportunity to study.
You're studying for a professional qualification, the highest qualification that you can get in accountancy.
What sort of person should consider the BSc?
People like myself who had other qualifications that have no relevance in accounting, yet have the ability and still want to document that knowledge by way of some qualification. I think it's very right for me.
Well, I think that everyone should. I don't know why people would not want to go for it.
What sort of person should do it? I think for people who really want to have a decent job, who really want to earn money, and who are very determined and want to progress in their career. How did you find completing project work compared with taking exams?
This project work is a bit more tricky, because there is no set of knowledge which you have to absorb and reproduce. You now have to produce something original.
What was the most challenging part of completing the degree?
It's just too much information available on the internet and the books and all that. I think squeezing it down to the 5,000 words, that I found that challenging part.
I think the key skill statement was a big challenge. It takes a lot of criticizing yourself and seeing where you might have gone wrong, where you could have done better.
How do you feel the degree is perceived? Well, when I first completed this degree and I informed my employers, I got a raise in my job. And also I've used it to seek admission to higher degrees.
Wherever you go, people know about ACCA, so that really definitely helps.
I think it's well perceived both in the workplace and in the academic environment.
What advice would you give to someone taking the degree?
Be relaxed, enjoy it, choose the topic which you want, arrange enough time for yourself, and yeah, that's it. Don't pressurize yourself and do it.
Realistically, how much time did the project take up?
I completed it within a month, but then I wasn't working full time, I didn't have any other commitment.
I did it in 6 months, and that's because I was working full time and I had family commitments as well. So I just did it at my own pace.
Well, after doing my relevant papers, I did it in 2 months, and because I was taking in addition some other papers and exams, so it took 2 months for me.
You know, you can complete it at your own pace, and you know, you have submission periods twice a year, so you can complete it, you can take as long as you want.
What would you say to anyone who was unsure about completing the degree?
You've got nothing to lose, and you've got a degree to gain. You get a significant qualification, and you know, it's a big achievement.
I think you should focus more on the benefits it will bring to your career, you know, and less on the commitment you will need to make in terms of completing it.
At the end of the day, you are an ACCA and you are a BSc in Applied Accounting, and that looks perfect for applying a job and definitely give you extra edge over others.
How has gaining the degree changed your life?
I have a pay rise in my existing job, and number of job offers have increased, and plus I feel more satisfied in myself and more confident.
It gives you a significant achievement under your belt.
Having this degree is a turning point in my career, because since then I've been able to improve my credibility before my employers. People have confidence in what I do, and I have more confidence in myself.
What skills do you feel the degree helps students to develop?
It depends on the student, because some students come with no presentation skills.
Yes.
So, for example, they need to develop presentation skills.
The other skills I find that they've learned quite a lot is time management. Self-discipline is going to be very important. Yes, time management is part of that, but also just gathering all the data, and also their ability to do some research. A lot of students at the ACCA syllabus doesn't encourage them to do any research other than reading their textbooks and doing past exam papers.
What can you learn from one another? For me, the things learned from students is the projects themselves.
Yes.
Because each project is so varied.
Absolutely.
And it provides such a breadth
Yes.
of information, because they come from a variety of industries. And at each project, there's something in there for the mentor to learn.
And I always tell the students two things really. First thing, do you have a personal interest in this particular topic? And secondly, are you able to gather information? Otherwise, if you're going to lose interest partway through the project, it's best not to choose this particular topic.
I learned some tricks on how to sustain the interest of the audience, how to make your presentation short and concise, and how to play up a point or dramatize it in such a way that your audience will want to continue to listen to you.
The degree itself is a learning process, and when you do the whole research analysis project, you learn skills from doing the project, but then you learn so much from the mentor's experience.
What do you perceive to be the role of the mentor?
My role, would say, is more of a facilitator.
Right.
And it's to guide them through the thinking process that allows them to come up with a project, and then to make suggestions as to how they could go and research it. And also to encourage, because there's a point often in the project writing process where students hit what they call a brick wall. Right? And
How do you get the best out of your mentor? What I realized in my first meeting was that I was taking too much of his time. So what I decided to write the questions beforehand so that I can ask him next time.
I think it's just a student who is prepared that bit ahead, not only just research project only, but to the key skill statement, can preempt that amount of work that you have to do, and you will get the best out of the mentor doing that way. Absolutely.
I'll ask students to send me an agenda for the meeting beforehand.
Yeah.
Not the first one, but for the second one, because that gives me an idea in advance where the shortfalls are likely to be.
What were the benefits of having a mentor? Sometimes if you are not very careful, you have a tunnel vision, you can't see the wider picture. And it takes somebody who is interested enough in the project and who is sufficiently knowledgeable to tell you if you are going off track or if you are on course.
It's a partnership. If you're not able to do something, put your hand up and tell your mentor, hey, I need some help here. I can't seem to be doing this, or I'm getting a mental block over here. This is what your mentor is there for, to help you to get through that particular barrier.
The project has enabled me to look at things in a different perspective. I'm now confident that I can tackle anything, because the main things that this project teaches you, research and analysis, can be applied to any scenario or task. Who can say what the future holds for me? That's the mystery of life. But I would like to be working in a job that I enjoy, in an environment where I'm happy, with a beautiful wife and at least 5 kids. I wouldn't mind a Pagani Zonda as well.
All of my studies have boosted my confidence, helping me to work under pressure and apply my new knowledge in a practical manner. Having the BSc in Applied Accounting is a vital achievement in my life. The day BSc appeared on my CV, I had a pay rise in my existing job. The number of job offers I receive has increased, and my ambition to run a company of my own seems a step closer. My next plan is an MBA, the highest academic qualification in business, and I think there is no better option than the Oxford Brookes and the ACCA MBA. Wish me luck.
Completing the BSc was a turning point in my career. It's boosted my credibility and confidence and developed in me a passion for research, which I want to pursue by going for a PhD. On top of that, I've taken up the role of Head of Finance and Administration at MRG International, where I will work to transform it into a best practice organization. Everything now seems possible, including my ambition to take up a bigger role at the United Nations.